Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we are going to be taking a look at another part of the Sugar Bombs interview with Chris Avallone. He recently offered us his thoughts on Fallout New Orleans as well as the future of the Fallout franchise. Today we're going to be talking about Bethesda's marketing division. Now I will have a link down below if you guys want to check out the remainder of the interview. There's lots of interesting information there, but once again, similar to the Todd Howard interview, I felt that this was the most video worthy information for you guys. Also, a big thanks to Chris for taking the time to do this for us. There's going to be a part 3 coming soon, and I'm sure that information will have something I'll make a video about when that comes around. Anyway, the question we're going to be highlighting today says, something that most people can agree on is that Bethesda and Godfather Pete Hines, now you probably get the thumbnail that you clicked on for this video, are experts at marketing. By using the hype of Fallout 4 and announcing it 6 months before release, they were able to make it one of the most profitable games in history. What were your personal experiences with Bethesda's PR/marketing department like, and how does this compare to other companies you've worked with in the past? Chris says, a Bethesda question. I was waiting for it. Part 1 was filled with them, Monty, almost as if they were leading questions. I've been wrapped up with Prey for a while now, and that's why this answer is important, because that's his most recent work, and Prey is coming out next year. So he's working on a current game for Bethesda, meaning that he's had recent interactions with them, meaning that these ideas are current. He says, I didn't have much interaction with marketing, but I doubt it's changed much. Overall, I think Bethesda is one of the few companies that do marketing right. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have a lot of respect for Pete Hines. If you see him on the trenches at E3, he takes his job seriously and isn't fucking away on his mobile phone while journalists ask the developers shitty questions that PR should be listening to and monitoring. Sorry for the tirade, and channeling past experiences. I actually did meet Pete Hines last E3, and yes, he is very involved in his work, as is the rest of Bethesda, and it is important that the PR monitors these situations so that developers don't say things they're not supposed to or have to be put in situations to answer questions that they're really not suited for, because to tell you the truth, that's part of the job of a PR department. Moving on, he says, in addition, and I've said this before too, but he knows how to demo games he's working on. And he was always willing to take over showcasing the game and the gameplay for one of the other demo folks if a developer or a demoer needed to be pulled away for an interview, and he did it without a hitch. Something a lot of other PR folks I've worked with in the past wouldn't dare do or want to, and most may not even like the game and feel that demoing is what the developers are for. That is some pretty hardcore stuff. We'll talk about that in a second, because the end of his answer is another thing which may be hard for non-developers to understand the full importance of, but Bethesda plans their marketing. This is rare in my experience. Bethesda is clear about messaging. They time and focus information releases, schedule demo dates properly, ask any developer, but demo deliveries should never be sprung as a surprise to any development team, because demos can derail development by months and more. Also, if there's any doubts as to how well marketing does their jobs, I'll just say this: you can buy Fallout t-shirts at Target. I still can't believe it. That never would have happened at Black Isle, but Bethesda made Fallout visible to the public, which is no small feat. Even my parents recognize the Fallout logo and the Vault Boy when they see it. Hell, I wasn't able to do that, and I'm their son, and this is my livelihood. So yeah, I think they do a good job with marketing. Other folks I've worked with in the past have been the exact opposite opinion. However, but that's up to them to outline their grievances. I don't agree with their opinion, and their opinions are so vague / hyperbolic, it was hard to argue with them, and I hate hyperbole. In any event, it's the equivalent of lying to make your ill-founded point. Oh, and to say it, LucasArts was pretty good to work with too. They also had their shit together. You know what that means. KOTOR 2. That's right. Fuck yeah. What came as the biggest surprise to this answer here was the fact that demos can delay developers for months, not weeks, not days, months, and that is huge in game development. It really makes you think how lucky we are in this industry to see so many updated demos of game. Now, perhaps this is only if it is sprung upon them. If developers are made aware of the demo upcoming, perhaps they can prepare in advance and gradually work on that on the side instead of trying to randomly stop working on the game to fix this demo up. And that may lead to why we see, for example, Ubisoft with the demos that look way better than the final product. I think a lot of the community who paid hardcore attention to Fallout 4's marketing cycle can attest to the fact that Bethesda does schedule their messaging and time and focus information releases, as a lot of people narrowed them down to Tuesdays in the early morning most of the time. People would time out Bethesda's silence and Bethesda talking and usually figure out right around the right time when Bethesda was going to be doing something new for Fallout 4. But not only that, it's quite crazy that Chris says his parents actually know what Fallout is, even though they didn't know what it was before he worked on it. The reason it's important to discuss this is because a lot of people have questioned Bethesda's marketing strategies because they've made some questionable decisions. Most recently would be the Bethesda review policy. Other examples might be the season pass. We don't know exactly how much demos impacted the experience, but this also is referenced to what I imagine might be a tie-in to Obsidian and Bethesda. We do have to keep in mind that Chris Avellone did work on Fallout New Vegas, meaning that he did work with Bethesda's marketing department at some point in time when he was at Obsidian. And a lot of people do assume that Obsidian and Bethesda absolutely hate each other's guts because of the deal that fell through on Metacritic. Perhaps that's not the case, and perhaps it is useful to work with Bethesda, and that's why so many people partner up with them for Bethesda to publish their games, because they give them the time and they help them out where they can. That'll wrap up the information for this video, though. I highly encourage you guys to go into the link in the description down below and check out the interview with Chris Avellone. Like I said, there are 2 parts up right now, and we are working on a part 3 as we speak. So we do hope you guys have been enjoying this multi-part interview series with Chris Avellone. A big thanks to Chris once again for answering all of our questions. And while you're down there, be sure to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed once more. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.